Alright, the fact that the Meep speaks English, despite presumably never having been to Earth, implies that aliens all do have a universal translate. Like, that's quite a basic thing that's been sorted out in alien times, and like, the Doctor deploys their own sort of way of doing translation that, is done in a very Time Lord style, and just, when they travel to the past, it sort of helps everyone talk to each other. But aliens must just be used to auto-translate, right? Because the Meep cannot be speaking English. The technology of the TARDIS doing all that translating must just be commonplace. It's not special, All aliens do it. Do aliens ever act like humans, being like, wait, why can we understand each other? They're talking to literal aliens. Multiple alien species come together and they all speak the one language. And they're not like, wait, this is kind of weird. So yeah, auto-translate, universal translate is a thing that is just, you approach probably around our level of technology, maybe a bit more, I don't know. But there must be some really basic technology that humans just haven't developed, that most species in the universe have developed, and therefore it translates everything, and that's why the Meep is just talking English here. Alright, so going along from my theory in the Talons of Wing Chun video, that Doctor Who is itself a video game, and the Doctor is the playable character. Perhaps returning to Tennant's face is something you can do if you pay extra. It's like DLC. And, going as Rose Tyler is more DLC. You pay for what you get, and the story just bends around that, because it's DLC. So, yeah, I think the Fourth Doctor's appearance in Day of the Doctor is basically a trailer for the DLC to come. Whoever's playing this either didn't want it or couldn't afford it at the time. Maybe they've got a new job and it's given them lots of money, so they're suddenly able to invest in the DLC that they didn't have before. They probably selected Omega and the Rani to turn up too, those were extra DLC. Oh, that makes sense. And they're subscribed to the Daleks and the Cybermen, they've just bought them, so they get them forever. But monsters that just return randomly for one story or something, I think maybe those are loot boxes, you open a loot box and it's oh cool, I'm getting another Zygon story. Oh, and Ice Warriors stories. Yeah, maybe UNIT are supposed to be fascist in RTD2, and them wearing this outfit is them being a bit too on the nose with it, and they're you know what, maybe we shouldn't be doing the equivalent of wearing caps with skulls on them. So that's why we don't see this outfit after this story. We see them packing away the press guy, and just the reason why Shirley's nah, go away, Doctor, I don't want to deal with you anymore, is because UNIT fears the Doctor and handles the Doctor. They pander to the Doctor so the Doctor doesn't take them down, because the Doctor would take them down if they were honest about who and what they are. So we kind of see usually a curated idea of what UNIT are, because they're on their best behaviour around the Doctor, I think. That's why Shirley's just keen to get rid of him. That's why Shirley doesn't contradict the 14th Doctor when he's oh yeah, I was UNIT Scientific Advisor number 1. She's not nah, that was Liz Shaw, you were number 2. So yeah, UNIT are a lot more fascist and evil and policey than they let on with the Doctor. And I'm sure they don't entirely manage to hide it from the Doctor, but they do it sufficiently so. And the Doctor buys into that propaganda, He's always oh yeah, they're with me, and it's oh, why don't you want me to be around, Shirley? He doesn't comprehend that he is being managed by UNIT, so that the Doctor doesn't just take UNIT down. Alright, so Rose Noble is definitely neurodiverse, because when she says that, sometimes other people say that I'm from a different planet. I don't think people say that about trans people. They're more likely to say it about someone who's neurodiverse. And I'm going to go out on a limb and say she's autistic because, I mean, are not all autistic people trans? Or is it that all trans people are autistic? Well, whatever. Point being, autism is extremely common in the trans community because we're less wedded to social norms, so we're able to be a bit more truthful and objective about these things. So we're ahead of the curve when it comes to sussing out our own gender. Anyway, yeah, so when she's like, oh yeah, people say I'm from a different planet, that is neurodiversity, and I'm gonna say autism. That's my diagnosis, autistic. You know, notice once, like, a big group is around her, she stops being a character. Maybe that is actually part of the autism. Because, like, being in a group diminishes me, you know? Like, I'm not able to, because of my autism, you know, the bigger the group and the more unstructured the interactions, the more I'm just not able to synchronize with what people are saying and join in with conversations in real time, and my voice becomes just less easily heard by people. Like, conversations in groups don't move slow enough for me to keep up, you know? So, like, I think this is expert representation of an autistic trans person. It's not that she stops being a character after she asks about the pronouns. It's that being in a group diminishes her. She is my ultimate self-insert. Yeah, the readiness of UNIT to open fire on and kill their own people who are under possession speaks really interestingly about how much units care for even their own employees' lives, you know? This is a military where the people in it mean very little, apart from that guy who's dating Kate. He gets special treatment, because, you know, is who you know. Maybe she cares about the people who she's around more, because she actually has to look people in the eye in the workplace. These people are just grunts to her. They are numbers on a page. Life means nothing to Kate the fascist. Okay, so if universal translates as universal, like, to all species, everyone has this technology, that means that their technology also, you know, it does lip sync, as Bill points out in the Roman episode, which means that the TARDIS changes what we see, which is why everything's localized to Earth, because, you know, Earth relates to our experience, you know, it isn't actually Earth. That's why the Meep calls Rose Donna's weird child. It's because Rose is autistic and the Meep is getting what it sees localized to it. And that means that, in a sense, it's basically getting analytic localization, and the fact that Rose is autistic gives, like, the holistic response of, you're weird, to what's just pretty basic, normal, autistic vibes, you know? So that's why the Meep calls her the weird child. Rose is so autistic here, you know, no eye contact, not talking in group conversations, especially with holistic people, and stimming, self-soothing behaviour. Like, what more do you need?
Gave away that lottery money.
Alright, when Tennant's, like, saying the trigger words that make Donna come back, she says binary, binary, binary as part of the code. And I think that, like, maybe each part of the code is a different kind of warning to the Doctor. They're being like, no, don't do this. And each, like, part of the code is designed in order to bring up, sort of, you know, make sure that the Doctor heavily considers it, almost like the moment having a conscience. It's that kind of vibe. So, like, I've just passed the scene and I don't have time tonight, but, like, you can look back on each word there and those will each be warnings, just like how binary, binary, binary was something that Donna Noble said. And, like, that was around the time when she had her memory erased. So this is, like, the Doctor reminding themselves of that moment just before she got her memory erased, where it was clear, like, her repeating binary, binary, binary was, that's the thing that evokes that whole situation for the Doctor. What are the other things that they say? Because each of them will have its own distinct meaning, and I wish I had time tonight to look through them all, but I just don't. I gotta go to bed. The fact that it seems impossible that all the cracks just entirely close up, leaving no marks. That's just a testament to how human plus Time Lord creates the ultimate genius. It's not a plot hole, it makes the plot whole. Okay, so Rose is activated at the same moment that Donna is, and her Time Lord essence is activated. So she's got a massive genius brain at the moment, and she's presumably somehow psychically connected with Donna, to the point that when Donna says binary, she, in all her big brainness, just says non-binary, which means that she is definitely a non-binary trans woman. Which, I can relate, because she's basically just making a joke, someone's binary, and she's just more like non-binary, am I right? So yeah, that's why this perplexing moment happens. It's a joke. Somehow the male presenting Time Lord line is a joke. It's a genius level joke. I'm not sure how. Maybe because it's obvious that that's not what it is, and it's kind of obvious what it is, and it's just that the Doctor sucks or just isn't very big brained, whereas I don't know, she's just yeah, bro, you don't have the massive brain that you think you do. There's such a simple solution you didn't think of, which feeds into my theory that the Doctor is just, he's not the super smart guy he thinks he is. There's so many things he just assumes, and they're not smart assumptions. Okay, I've always found it odd that Shaun Temple is just like I said, mate, best girls in the world, after seeing them do the regeneration energy, letting go of it thing. But they basically become gods, that's what they look like. And when he's saying best girls in the world, he rolls with everything so much. He's just holy shit, they're goddesses? Hell yeah, I knew they were awesome. So yeah, I think that's why he says that, because I never understood why he said that before. But if you literally look at that, if your loved ones did that, you'd just be these people are amazing. Look what they did. This is enchanting. Alright, when she says after all these years I'm finally me, what if she actually has just become me? Me has used this release of regen energy in order to enter the body of Rose, and Rose becomes a completely different character after this because she has become me, who was at the end of the world and somehow was able to wield the power that she's able to wield at the end of the world. So probably that's a cis woman being placed into a trans woman's body. Oh, I love it. But yeah, after all these years, I'm finally me. This body is finally me. I get to be a new person. Maybe this is the mortal life she's always wanted but never could have. Me in The Woman Who Lived is really good at acting and playing a different person. So Donna being Rose is so bad at acting, I don't know how to tell her. I think she never needs to tell her, because Rose has become me, because relinquishing the time energy opened her up to vulnerabilities. Maybe the Doctor was wiser than we thought, and it was doomed to invite something like that to happen. It's just way too risky. It's not as simple as Donna and Rose think, because the Doctor has more knowledge than them about how the universe works. And yeah, it makes sense to an extent, but also it's not worth the risk, because you know what will happen, Something bad, someone will take advantage of it. It's just, it's like a gold mine just waiting to happen. A mountain of gold that someone could easily find in the history of the universe and take advantage of. There's just no way that's not going to get exploited. Does this mean Donna's a different person, or did Donna actually get away with it and it was kind of 50-50 whether it would be Donna or Rose? Yeah, it must have been that. It must have been 50-50 whether it was Donna or Rose. I've linked in my Instagram bio and my YouTube videos a Palestinian charity you can donate to if you want to support me. Also, you can help me with subtitles, and that would be really helpful and make my videos more accessible. Just saying.